The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a fiery orange hue across the secluded beach where Emily and Daniel had chosen for their first date. The rhythmic sound of waves crashing against the shore provided a soothing backdrop as the couple strolled along the water's edge. The moon, full and luminous, bathed the sands in an eerie glow, setting the stage for an unforgettable night. As they walked, Daniel shared tales of the mysterious history surrounding the beach. Local legends spoke of restless spirits, lost souls seeking redemption beneath the moonlit waves. Emily listened intently, her imagination painting vivid images of ghostly apparitions and haunted shores. As they reached a cluster of jagged rocks, a sudden chill settled over the air. Daniel's eyes widened, his voice lowering to a conspiratorial tone. "They say the spirits become restless when a new couple walks the beach at night," he said, a mischievous smile playing on his lips. Emily laughed nervously, dismissing the superstition as mere folklore. Unbeknownst to her, however, shadows seemed to dance in the corners of her vision, and the distant whispers of the sea took on an otherworldly cadence. The couple decided to rest on the rocks, watching the waves crash with a rhythmic intensity. The atmosphere grew thick with tension as the moonlit waves seemed to murmur secrets of the past. Unseen eyes followed their every move from the darkness beyond. Suddenly, a piercing scream shattered the tranquil night. Emily and Daniel jumped to their feet, hearts pounding. The scream had come from just beyond the rocks. Fear gripped them as they hesitated, contemplating whether to investigate or flee. Curiosity overcame caution, and they cautiously navigated the rocky terrain. As they turned a corner, they were met with an unsettling sight. An old, tattered journal lay open, its pages rustling in the wind. The scream seemed to emanate from its worn, leather cover. Daniel, ever the daring one, reached for the journal. As his fingers brushed the brittle pages, the air grew colder, and the whispers intensified. The couple was transported into the tragic tale of a love lost to the treacherous tides. The journal detailed a forbidden romance that ended in tragedy when a jealous suitor lured the young lovers into the unforgiving sea. Legend had it that their souls wandered the beach, eternally seeking solace. A sudden gust of wind extinguished their lantern, plunging them into darkness. The whispers escalated into anguished cries. Panic set in as unseen hands seemed to claw at the edges of their reality. In the midst of the chaos, a ghostly figure emerged from the shadows, reaching out with skeletal fingers. Emily and Daniel recoiled in terror, realizing they were reliving the ill-fated lovers' final moments. The spirit's hollow eyes locked onto theirs, pleading for release. A bone-chilling revelation struck the couple. They were not mere spectators but unwitting participants in a spectral reenactment. The realization sent shivers down their spines as they grappled with the unnerving truth. In a desperate attempt to break free, they stumbled backward, only to find themselves back on the rocks, the journal now closed and silent. The beach had returned to an eerie calm, the spectral whispers replaced by the regular cadence of the waves. Emily and Daniel fled the haunted shore, their hearts racing, and the unsettling encounter etched into their memories. The beach, now cloaked in an ominous silence, whispered tales of love and betrayal, leaving the couple to wonder if the spirits they encountered that night were ever truly at rest. As they retreated into the safety of the night, the moonlit waves carried the anguished cries of the ill-fated lovers, forever trapped in the haunting tapestry of the beach's haunted history. The story, much like the tides, would continue to ebb and flow, a chilling reminder of the thin veil between the living and the lingering souls that roamed the shore. Once upon a time, in a small coastal town, lived a group of friends who spent their childhood summers playing on the sun-kissed beach. The salty breeze and the laughter of seagulls created a canvas of cherished memories. Among them was Emily, a curious and adventurous girl with a love for building sandcastles. One particular summer, the children discovered an old, abandoned beach shack nestled among the dunes. It was rumored to be haunted, but curiosity overcame fear, and they decided to explore its mysteries. Late one afternoon, the group gathered at the shack, their bare feet sinking into the warm sand. The wooden door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit interior filled with dusty remnants of a forgotten time. They giggled nervously, their childish bravery masking the unease that lingered in the air. As Emily ventured deeper into the shack, a sudden chill settled over the room. Shadows danced on the walls, and the air grew heavy with an unspoken tension. Just as the children began to feel a sense of unease, a ghostly whisper echoed through the room, sending shivers down their spines. "Leave this place," the whisper urged, but the children dismissed it as a trick of the wind. They continued their exploration, unaware that something unseen was watching their every move. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows that stretched across the beach. The children, now on edge, decided to leave the shack and head back home. However, as they stepped out into the fading daylight, a figure appeared in the distance, a silhouette against the dying sun. Frozen with fear, the children squinted, trying to make out the identity of the mysterious figure. It stood still, its form hazy yet vaguely human. The whisper returned, louder this time, urging them to run. Panicked, they sprinted across the sand, the figure inching closer with each step. Just as the children reached the safety of their homes, the figure vanished into the shadows. They laughed nervously, attributing their fear to overactive imaginations. Little did they know, the whispers and shadows were not left behind on the beach. That night, Emily lay in bed, the haunting whispers echoing in her mind. As she drifted into sleep, a chilling realization struck her. Each time she closed her eyes, the figure from the beach stood at the edge of her dreams, watching, waiting. Days turned to weeks, and the once carefree laughter of the children faded. Emily, now plagued by nightmares, confided in her friends. They, too, admitted to the lingering sense of unease that had infiltrated their lives since that fateful day. Determined to unravel the mystery, the friends returned to the beach shack. The air grew thick with tension as they confronted the ghostly whispers that warned them to leave. As they approached the shack's entrance, the whispers intensified, reaching a bone-chilling crescendo. The door slammed shut behind them, trapping the children in darkness. Panic set in as unseen hands gripped their shoulders, pulling them deeper into the haunted shack. The ghostly figure materialized before them, its eyes hollow and filled with a sorrowful longing. A gut-wrenching revelation shook the children to their core. The figure was the ghost of a child who had drowned on the beach years ago, warning them of the impending danger that lurked within their dreams. The children, now paralyzed with fear, felt a cold hand brush against their cheeks. The ghostly child whispered, "You ignored the warnings, and now, like me, you're trapped between the waking world and the shadows." In an instant, the children were thrust into a nightmarish realm where reality and dreams collided. The beach shack crumbled around them, and the ghostly child's laughter echoed through the void. The friends were condemned to wander the haunted shores, forever tormented by the whispers in the sand. And so, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting an eerie glow on the beach, the ghostly laughter of children and the echoes of chilling whispers became the new legends whispered among the dunes. The shack, now reclaimed by the sands of time, stood as a silent testament to the price paid for ignoring the warnings that lingered in the childhood memories of the beach. As the sun dipped below the horizon, I found myself alone on a desolate beach, the salty breeze carrying a sense of foreboding. The rhythmic sound of the waves crashing against the shore was drowned out by the eerie silence that seemed to envelop the surroundings. I strolled along the shoreline, the sand cool beneath my bare feet. The moon cast long shadows, and the distant cries of seagulls added to the haunting ambience. Unsettling, but nothing too out of the ordinary. As I walked, I noticed a dim light flickering in the distance. Against my better judgment, curiosity led me toward it. The light emanated from an old, dilapidated beach hut, its windows cracked and doors slightly ajar. A chill ran down my spine as I hesitated before entering. The interior was cloaked in darkness, save for the feeble glow of a lantern swaying ominously. The air inside was heavy with a strange energy. I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Just as I was about to turn back, the lantern extinguished with a sudden gust of wind. Panic set in as the room plunged into total darkness. A disembodied voice whispered, "Leave this place," sending shivers down my spine. My heart pounded as I fumbled for my phone, using its feeble light to navigate the room. The shadows seemed to move with a malevolent intent, dancing along the walls. As I reached for the doorknob, it slammed shut with a deafening bang. I was trapped. The voice grew louder, the whispers evolving into guttural moans that echoed through the empty space. I strained to make out the words, my mind racing with fear. Abruptly, the room fell silent. In the oppressive darkness, I heard the soft patter of footsteps approaching. Every nerve in my body screamed to run, but my legs refused to move. The footsteps circled me, a spectral dance that left me paralyzed with terror. A cold breath brushed against the nape of my neck, and I felt a presence inches away. The room seemed to compress, the air thickening with an otherworldly force. With a sudden, bone-chilling clarity, I realized I was not alone. A ghostly figure materialized before me, its face obscured by long, tangled hair. Its eyes, devoid of life, locked onto mine. Frozen in terror, I watched as it reached out, its hand passing through me like a frigid wind. The room came alive with ethereal whispers, recounting a tale of tragedy and loss. The ghostly figure, a woman betrayed and abandoned, sought solace in the afterlife. My heart ached with empathy, and I vowed to help her find peace. With a mournful wail, the room erupted into a blinding light. I shielded my eyes, the voice now a sorrowful plea. As the light faded, I found myself standing alone on the beach, the hut nowhere in sight. Confused and disoriented, I stumbled back to my car, the echoes of the ghostly cries still ringing in my ears. It wasn't until I reached the safety of my home that I discovered the shocking truth. Reviewing the pictures I took on the beach, I froze as I came across a chilling image, the ghostly figure, her face twisted in anguish, standing just behind me. The realization struck like a bolt of lightning, the spirit had latched onto me, forever bound by the unwitting promise I made in that haunted beach hut. As I sit here recounting my harrowing experience, I can still hear the whispers, a spectral echo of a restless soul seeking release. The beach, once a place of serenity, now hides the lingering presence of a spirit forever bound to the haunting tide, a reminder that some encounters leave indelible marks on the living and the dead.